Alright, so welcome to Tomato Industries Detailing, and here we have a Toyota Hilux we're doing this afternoon. So this car is just going to get its maintenance wash. It was given a coating probably about 5 or 6 months ago, and it's still coming out pretty good, seeing it lives on a property, as you can see. So it does travel down the odd dirt road, and yeah, it's coming up alright. So as usual, cars on properties, they've got their stuff going on underneath the wheel arches. That's where all that mud lives. We haven't had much rain up here in the last 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not too much in the way of cleaning to be done under there. Sometimes I get up here and it's absolutely clogged up there. Rest of the car, geez, I'm noticing he's getting a few dents in this thing. Yes. So they've got a pretty big lip just under here. As you can see, up under there it gets pretty dirty, and that lip here is fairly, probably, I don't know, twice the size of the car's lip. Tyres and that are pretty good. So yeah, this thing's in pretty good shape compared to what it can be in. So there's no big problems here this afternoon, just some dust and stuff. So I'll get the old rinse, do some foaming, and give her a wash. This one's got a bit more mud and dirt on it, so that will need a little bit extra going on for it. And I think I'm doing the interior here. I think I'm just doing the exterior. Yeah, interior's pretty good anyway. I've got to remind myself, I've got to do these headlights. They're all scratched up, so sometime when I get a bit of extra time I'll come up and sort them out for him. But that won't be today because I didn't bring anything with me to do said headlights. Alright, so we'll move on to the rinse cycle.
Now what is hip? What is cool? Is there some kind of rule? Is it something that you share when you're alert and aware? Are there some words to say when the band begins to play? Can you dig it? Yeah, that's hip. Is hip. What is with it? It's not hard to find, but is it? Is it something that you earn, or do you have to wait your turn? Is it sweet? Is it spice? Does it set the night off nice? Can you dig it? Yeah, that's it. Say the club is really jumping now. Band is really bumping now. Time to get a move on, and time to keep your groove on. If you get a little frantic, no need to panic. And who you take your tea with need to slip. Watch the signs and you'll find out what is hip. Let it rip, don't trip, don't fall and spit your lip. Free your mind and you'll find out what is hip.
Right, so welcome back to Tomato Industries Detailing, and here's the finished product, the 2014, I think it is, or it might be 15 Hilux. So she's come up pretty well again. So, you know, you just got to work out, this is a farm vehicle, lives on a property, gets dirty. No matter what I do, it'll be probably dirty again tomorrow. So you don't go way out of your way to do anything untoward. I basically come to an agreement with a budget, and what that entails is a rinse, a foam, a wash and dry, and that's about it. So blacken the tyres, yeah, and that's about it really. Clean the windows. So, you know, you don't want to be spending a lot of time on these sort of vehicles. A lot of my customers have already spent a fair bit of money on the initial detail, where they have gone for decontamination, two-stage polishing and coatings. So when I come along and do a maintenance wash, I try and keep that as cheap as possible and realistic as possible for both them and myself. And that all depends on the condition of the car. And generally, once you put a coating on a car, we all know they're a lot easier to wash. So, you know, this thing's got superficial scratches and some deeper scratches all over it. It's got bumps and dents and what have you. So, you know, I don't spend a lot of time making sure this thing's absolutely perfect. I just get in there and do what's needed, really. Alright, so it's been a pretty busy day. Come to the end of the day now. Sun's gone down, and as you can see, I got a little stormy coming from that way over there. Could be. I've got some pretty dark clouds. There's a little bit of blue sky down to the south, down that way. But over this way is generally where the storms may come from this time of year. She's pretty black. So I'll get myself packed up and sorted, and we'll move on. Alright, catch you later. Alright, so welcome to Tomato Industries Detailing. Here I am up in one of the suburbs of Byron Bay, and I've got this four-wheel drive to do today. Just getting her ready for sale. So she's 10 years old. It's a Land Cruiser, and interior wise it's fairly dirty inside. Not the worst I've ever seen, but fairly dirty. The paint is oxidised, so we have some missing paint on this panel here. Some of the other ones are okay. Mainly on the doors also, and I did notice this door here was quite dirty, so it's going to need polishing. So we're going to give the car a wee bit of a polish. Some of it I think will be hand polishing, because the budget doesn't quite get to the full amount. So interior wise, looking at the back here, and you can see generally these are what they look like, these sort of vehicles. People get out there and have a good crack with them. So we've got quite a lot of mouldy sort of stuff up the top there and in around the seals, so that'll all have to be cleaned off in the wash. It's always good to have a bit of a look under here too. So it's looking a bit dirty, and all around here. Yeah, so we'll get in there with the high pressure cleaner and some degreaser and get all that cleaned up. Going down along there as good as we can. Paint at the back here is not too bad. It's mainly on the sides of the car, so the side doors and that front panel that's oxidised, and we've lost our clear coat. So basically, if you want to find out, you'll normally look at the car and think the paint looks pretty flat, so there's not much gloss in the paint. And if you rub your hand up and down like so, you put your hand away, you'll see that it has white on your fingers. So that's how you find that out. So look at these wheels, are good clean, and the tyres getting a good scrub going up that step. And you know, when I looked at this car, and so this is getting ready for sale, this car, so you can just see how filthy it is in around these door frames and hinges of the like. They're quite filthy. I haven't seen one this bad for a while. So once again, have a look in there. Yeah, quite filthy. I don't know why they're this filthy. Anyway, a little bit unusual to have them that bad. But I don't know, maybe the colour of the paint's making it stand out more than it should. So all the doors and everything have taken a bit of a battering, so there's not much we can do there. Just clean. Interior's just cleaning, that is all. Vacuum all the carpets and then give these a vacuum also, and that's it. That's all the owners asked for, and that's all the budget can afford. So interior wise, we've got, you know, usual amount of dirt and debris in here. So once again, we're getting in with some brushes. I've already actually just started and forgot to do the video. So I'm quickly going to do it before I rip in again. So I've got my brushes, debris and stuff down there. Just starting in on the vents. And you can see the amount of dust.
You all good?
Yeah, man. Everything's great. Alright.
Cheers.
See you, buddy. So yeah, the amount of dust we've got along here, very typical of these sort of cars, and in the vents. So yeah, we're going to try and add a little bit of colour to this. Got around 6 hours to work some sort of magic on this one. This front bull bar could do with a polish. There's no time for that, but it could do. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we've got today. I've got everything out here on site. So go in here with the clean them up with the chisels. These are great for cleaning in here. I've done quite a couple of videos on this, but they're very good for getting in there and in amongst here. And the rest is basically like brushwork. I tend to use this one also to just get all the debris out and give it while I'm vacuuming. You can see it just sort of fits into all the different levels, and also up here it's handy also. Down there, use the different brushes, probably those artist brushes and what have you. The vacuum just ate that one over there. This is the sort of dangers we face. You know, I just started to vacuum with this one, and this was near, so I was brushing along like that, and it sucked the head up. So, you know, if you buy cheap artist brushes like I do to do your cleaning, that's what happens. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. He's only asked for just a and once again, this in here, I hope this comes off. I hope this isn't grease and stuff also. Oh god, it feels like it could be a problem, this in here. It's very, very I hope that, I don't know, I've got some degrees here. Let's see what happens. Let's go live. Oh, you gotta love it when these things don't fucking work. Come on, mate. Here we go. Get a bit of the greaser in. I might just periodically, starting with the interior, so I might just come out and periodically spray these things to get a little bit of a start. Oh, goodness. That degreaser can get to you sometimes. So I'll let it sit there just for a second or two, and we'll give it just a wipe, and it's sort of coming off, but this is going to be, it's not going to be simple like I'd like it to be, especially when you're trying to clean it out of all in these parts here. If this is an indication of what it's going to be like getting it off, it's coming off, but it's showing resistance to coming off. So I'd say there's not just oil, grease, and other matter that's sort of mattered. You know, over the years have accumulated 3 or 4 different substances, and this is sort of hard when you feel it. It's actually when it's dry, so that's going to be interesting. The rest of the doors and rubbers, it all depends, you know, how much time it takes me to deal with this. The rack at top, he said don't even worry about the roof. He's not even, doesn't really care about either. So you know, that's really about it. And I might, if I got time, run along here with all the trim just to get the black and white. So yeah, there's quite a bit of work in this. If he asked me to restore this to you know, a brand new situation, which, you know, will make it look really good again. I don't mean brand new, but just, you know, polish all this paint really well and put something on it to keep it. So you can restore the gloss in this paint, and then do all the trim, and it'd look good. It'd look quite newish again. But the budget's just not there for that with this one. It's unfortunate with this budget thing. You're just always fighting with time and budgets as the details. I guess, you know, I've never been a tradesman of other trades. They're probably just feeling the same thing. So anyway, this is what I'm up against, and let's see how I go. So I'll catch you soon. Alright, so welcome back to Tomato Industries Detailing. Here's the finished product, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Alright, so this is a 10-year-old car. I was asked to come around and give it a clean, and you know, it's one of these white cars that got all those tiny little ant poos or whatever they are, they're little black dots that just adhere to the car, and generally you have to do get them off with clay bar. So because there was no clay bar with this car, there's still quite a few of them on. Washing does not get them off at all. You might get one or two of them off, but for the most part those things are stuck on there like an Alabama tick. That's from a movie, oh, it's a few years back. Predator, good old Predator. Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura. He said that one. Stuck like an Alabama tick. So, after giving the old wash, sort of decontamination in the way of a, you know, I wiped all the tar and stuff off it. I just went around the lower panels, wiped all the tar off. Basically, as I said, there's a ton of those tiny little pinhead size little black dots on this car, and they're some sort of insect excrement, and they don't come off in washing. You have to clay them off, even polishing, unless I was using Maguire's M205 with a white Zen tool cutting pad, and that still didn't get them off. It sort of took the top off them, but wouldn't get them off. So I've done a couple of cars with these. You have to go around individually. It's just a massive pain in the ass. It's another hour on top of what you're doing, just going out around and getting every single one. I didn't have the time or the budget today, so I just polished, because this car's for sale, so hopefully, you know, I told the guy that with the budget he gave me, there may be some things I can't fit in, and he said he'll do it, so there's something for him to do. But I did all the things that he couldn't do, like the polishing. So it's all come up alright for a car of its age, being, you know, quite old now, 10 years. It's been a family work car, so it's copped a bit of a hiding. Beach car, there's so much sand in there. We didn't worry about the roof. I did wash it, but that's all. I didn't, no polishing. So basically what I did polish was all the sides, the bonnet and the other side. The back was fine. Yeah, the back, and he said don't worry about the roof. So that's it. Interior, gave it a very good vacuum and a wipe down, that was it. No dressings or anything like that. So it's all done now. As you can see, just a quick vacuum on all the spots. And a wipe down, no dressings, and no cleaning of upholstery or anything like that. There is no time. He gave me a time and a budget and said once you have reached it, that is that. And I have reached it, so it's time to walk away. So I sort of had a little bit of a win with some of these frames. You know, they're not perfect. That black stuff is just, you know, it's probably easier to take the door off to clean it, to be honest, and which is not, there is so much of that gunk, and it's sort of, what I found, it's in about 3 levels. So you've got the top level that sort of comes off reasonably. The second level is when you just got to start scrubbing it, and the third level, it's almost part of the paint, etched into the paint. So it's a pain in the ass. I've never ever seen anything so bad. I don't know how it's gotten so black. Oh, and thank God I put the touch-up paint there, because I've got to do a bit of touching up just here. Almost forgot about that. God, I put it there to remind me. Almost drove off and didn't do it. Oops. Alright, so that's it. I'm so happy this is over. It's like 39 million degrees. I'm just in this courtyard in the sun. I've got a headache. I'm dehydrated. Now I just got to get out of here. It's full on. Got the car packed, so I'll just get the bamboo sticks out and do the touch-ups, and I'm done. I think I'm off to the beach. So anyway, hope you have a good night, and oh, nothing but net. How good's that? And I'll catch you later.